Hello and a very warm welcome to ET Studios. We are coming to you from ET Retail's Great India Retail Summit 2024. I'm your host Himanshi Tiwari. Now here on ET Studios, we bring you an engaging and insightful interview series with exclusive conversations with India's top retail, real estate and hospitality leaders. So today we are here to deep dive into transforming traditional brands in the fashion industry, and without further ado, it is with great pleasure that I would like to warmly introduce my guest today to tell us more about this, Mr. Sunil Kataria, CEO Raymond Lifestyle. So it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Himanshi.
All right. So, sir, Raymond is a quintessential legacy brand, right? How has the company successfully evolved and kind of transformed itself to stay relevant in today's fast fashion era?
Yeah, actually, it's an honor to be part of Raymond. It's a brand which, it's almost like what our chairman and managing director called it. It's a national asset actually.
Yeah.
And we are on the verge of completing our centenary in another year. We're in the 99th year. And
wow.
We're just one short of 100. So yeah, it's a brand which has remained relevant and connected through a century now.
Yeah.
And that's the heritage of this brand. So one of the things if you see about Raymond as a brand, it's always been one of the most innovative brands across multiple pillars of its being, So, apparel and fabrics, which is what this brand is known for. The product is the most important thing. So this is a brand which has created the most innovated fabrics in the country. It's a brand which has taught styling to the Indian men.
Yeah.
And it's a brand which has always done breakthrough products. The fundamental pillar across this has been trust. And trust lasts generations. No matter which generations come, the first thing any human being, any consumer wants is trust. And that is something which has been the foundational stone of this brand. What has happened over the years, and I would say the third brilliant thing which has happened in this brand over the years.
Yeah.
You talk to anyone in Raymond, apart from quality, great products, one thing you can't miss is the complete man.
Yeah.
It's synonymous with that word.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is what this brand did in a very breakthrough manner, is that it created a communication and a brand persona which is beyond the category itself. It's about the personality of the brand and an emotion of the brand and an ethos of the brand, which is even bigger than the product itself. And it connected with the men over the years.
Yeah.
So that has given a very larger than life persona to the brand, and that's what connects and resonates with the brand, whether with the men, whether it's the lower end of the strata of the society, or whether it's the topmost luxury segment of India.
But how do you define a complete man?
Okay, it's a very interesting question, Himanshi, and I think complete man definition, some fundamentals remain true, which don't change, right? Which is all about the whole being a gentleman. But the point is, across generations, the complete man interpretation changes. Because society is changing, the way men interact with, society around them is changing. And if you see the whole series of the communication Raymond man has done, the complete man, the series has evolved through emotions which have been very relevant for that decade. And every decade, it's a communication which has touched the core of men, very relevant in that generation. And that's one of the reasons why the brand has remained very relevant on the, I would say, the brand personality side. It resonates. The second piece definitely is the innovation of the product. Finally, this category is all about styling. This category is all about dressing up. And dressing what is all about is an extension of your self-projection and persona. You want to look great, right? And that is what this brand has done through great products, whether it be fabrics, obviously, and now Raymond apparels. And that's something which has been, and now, in fact, the latest foray has been ethnics by Raymond. So that's what I think the pillars which have kept the brand.
And we have seen Raymond's evolution through a lot of campaigns as well. How the campaigns, have changed over the years for Raymond's. So really, some of the brilliant campaigns we have seen over the years. Feels like heaven, feels like Raymond is one of them, I guess.
In fact, when I see that campaign, obviously I'm not the one who did it. It's earlier, I think, generations which did it, and some great work happened. It's one of those campaigns where if you see there's hardly any product. Right? It's just the touch, little touch which tells you what it is. And one line feels like heaven captures everything.
It's the experience that you're saying.
That you get. It just captures everything. So brilliantly built over the years.
And also, Sunil, sustainability is becoming increasingly important in the fashion industry, right? So how does Raymond Lifestyle integrate sustainability and its practices into its operations and brand ethos that you were talking about?
So clearly, this is a pillar which I think is becoming very, very relevant for Gen Z and millennials, obviously, which I think is today the largest, segment with a huge disposable income. So very clearly at Raymond itself, the Raymond Limited Group itself, and then within that Raymond Lifestyle and other companies, we have very clearly crafted out our 2030 goals of sustainability pillars. So I think those are something, whether it's through our factories, through our manufacturing footprint, whether through our products, landfill targets or other targets. I think we have very clearly laid out footprint and targets for our operation business. Apart from that, the other thing obviously is what do we do with the products. Consumers also are looking at sustainability in the products as well. Right. So I think we have come up with the yarns and the fibers, which itself are sustainable in themselves. We have got ranges, some of the ranges we have launched in fabrics is called Sustainova. Right. So that's a range which is built around the whole being a sustainable product. So I think the whole sustainability piece is being carried through operational milestones that have gone through the organization and very clearly targets we've set for ourselves. And then the other part is within products which consumer face every day. I think we have launched a lot of sustainable products.
All right. So at ET, we really love to deep dive into all the targets that you're talking about. So what targets are we talking about when it comes to sustainability?
Okay. I wouldn't have the numbers ready, but I think we want to be among the top, quartile of the industry, definitely, in this.
All right.
That's something which we're setting for us.
All right. And also the retail landscape that you are in has undergone significant changes over the past few years, especially post-pandemic, right? And there has been rise of e-commerce and digital channels now. So how does Raymond adapt its retail strategy to meet the challenges and opportunities presented by these changes?
So I think, so we have got a very clearly, it's a skill which we have developed over the, let's say I would say last 4-5 years. It's still work in progress, because it's a very fluid field and evolving field. So I think it's a learning almost on a daily basis. So we have a very clear e-commerce omni-channel team, which is a vertical we have created, which builds capability within the organization. We are already double-digit contribution of our business comes from e-commerce. So that's something which we are happy about, but I think we need to do even maybe more aggressive way of it, and we want to do it profitably. I think that's very important. So I think the key in this is one can easily do e-commerce and not do it profitably. I think what we want to do over a period of time is do a profitable online business, And then another thing that we started working on towards is the omni-channel piece, because the consumers today, one thing which has changed completely post-COVID is that you can experience at the top of the funnel the product anywhere, right? And you can fulfill it anywhere. So I may go online and actually go and see my shirts and my trousers of Raymond or Park Avenue or Color Plus, and then say, okay, I'm going to buy it at the store or the mall, right? So that whole classical consumer curve has become a matrix now. So that's why this omni-channel piece is where we have invested in. So we have fulfillment where you can do it from the stores while you can still see online. So that's a piece which is we are investing behind. Another piece where we use digital technology a lot is a very interesting piece. Okay, we have a very large data analytics team and database with us. So our Raymond is one of the largest brands across the country. We have a footprint of around 1,000 plus Raymond stores across 670 cities. It's that widespread a brand. So we have a very, very large CRM database, or maybe one of the largest in the country. That becomes a very rich source of insight mining for us. So we have an analytics backbone whereby we can actually do, algorithms through machine learning to create cohorts and understand behaviors which are emerging within this consumer set for ourselves. And that is something which we are in the middle of strengthening, so that the teams can actually, while designing product or obviously while communicating or while running promotions, can actually work on cohorts, their behavior, test it out. Promotions have happened, see back, what are the learnings. So that analytics engine is, working fine for us. And obviously we want to upgrade and make it a much, much stronger skill for us. So that's one thing which is happening. Another very interesting work, which I think we are a pioneer, obviously I think we should be only doing it because we are the market leaders in fabrics, is that one of the biggest pieces in fabrics is that when you go into a ready-to-wear store, like if you go into a Raymond ready-to-wear store or a Park Avenue store or Color Plus, you will just try the ready-to-wear garment. You don't have to bother about you go into the trial room and you just, kind of see whether you look good, you like it or don't like it. In a fabric where we are the pioneers, one challenge is how do you visualize yourself?
Exactly.
It's a very interesting piece. It's one of the biggest barriers you can say in a way, that how do I visualize myself? That I love this product, but how do it look like a suit? It may look very different as a bandi, It may look very different as a, what do you call, a Nehru jacket. So the whole look can change. So we are using now, digital tools, AI-based digital tools. It's a generative AI tool which we've created. We're just rolling it out, which is a fabric visualization tool.
Okay.
Through which you can just visualize yourself in multiple kind of ready-made garments. You can see how they will look on this thing. And it's a generative. In fact, the models in that, they're all also AI created. So I think that's something we believe is going to be a very big change event for the way we are working, because it helps consumers visualize. And the moment you can visualize yourself in something, the consumer behavior decision can be very different.
Yeah. All right. So 3 things. Raymond is betting big on marrying brick and mortar spaces to the e-commerce spaces, right? Raymond is betting hugely on data analytics to understand customer preferences. And the third thing about generative AI, how can you actually visualize yourself in the suits? Very good to hear that.
Suits, and I would say all other kind of products.
And all other kinds of products. Absolutely.
Two more things are betting very big. One is, as I said, the retail expansion.
Yeah.
I think Ethnics by Raymond is a big foray for us, where we are getting into now ready-made ethnic wear. We have already got 100 plus stores, and obviously we're betting very big on casualization.
All right. So Raymond is betting really big on casualization, personalization, and customization of a lot of its products. On that note, sir, as we are wrapping up this conversation, we are here live from GIRS. How has been your experience at the event so far? And if you have any one key takeaway for our viewers?
Okay. So I think one thing which, it's an inaugural event.
Yeah.
I think, so one thing which I would say is, I think the lineup of speakers, I think the width of knowledge which has come together at this one forum in 2 days, I think that's exceptional. So I would really like to, a lot of congratulations to the ET retail team, that in the very inaugural event, you just got the whole industry together, and so many diverse points of views are getting very interestingly debated and shared, And I think that's something which I'm really happy to see that happen. I think it's a great forum for learning and sharing knowledge.
All right. The team is thriving in the community here at GIRS. And that's all we have for you on this episode of ET Studios. Stay tuned for many more exciting conversations where we give you the exclusive opportunity to gain valuable insights from the most influential retail leaders who are driving innovation and advancements in their industries. Until next time, many thanks for watching.